buy it for mirrors on Torment XYZ. Okay, guys. Alright. That's enough rambling. Let us do this thing, guys. Let us do this thing. So, welcome, guys. G'day, Ziggy D here, for those of you guys watching on YouTube. We did recently a jewelry crafting session in which we crafted a bunch of jewelry, and I talked through the process, and I valued the jewelry and priced the jewelry for you guys, and there was a bunch of great feedback for that. You guys said you loved it and it was very helpful, so I think I'm going to do more of these sorts of things, more of these detailed, take you guys through live tutorial sort of things. They're going to be longer. This one might even be 2 videos long, depending on how long it takes, because in this one, we are going to identify value and price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stash tabs worth of generic loot. So this is like general loot. It's come from a mixture of Dominus runs. I ran some Dominus runs with a magic finding friend. I also just did some maps. So it's just a mixture of map loot and Dominus runs. There's literally just some chromatic items in there. There's items to identify, there's some blues in there, there's just various things that I pick up in maps. I tried to just get a good sample, a good selection of the sort of things I pick up. Things that you will notice are not in there so much. Bases that I know are terrible, like really low level bases, or things like claws. I just don't really ever bother with claws personally, because I've never found a valuable claw, and I know I'm never going to find one if I never pick them up, but I just personally don't bother with claws too much, and there's a few other things I don't bother with that are just less popular. Some two-handers, for example, low-level base two-handers and things like that. But otherwise, it's just a bit of a selection of loot, and we'll start by just sorting it and identifying it. I'll talk through the different things I've picked up and why I've picked them up. So, first things we have here, I have some flasks. These are quality flasks. The reason I picked these up is you can actually collect up 40% total of quality flasks. And so you'll see on the ground it'll say superior flask something, and then I just pick those guys up. Usually if they're higher qualities, but I'll just kind of pick them up, not worry about it too much, because if you get 40% total, you get yourself a Glassblower's Bauble back. And sometimes you might actually use a partially already quality flask to craft yourself an endgame flask anyway. Like this one was 13%. I just whatever, I rolled some stats on there because I didn't have any glass blowers. But these are actually pretty rare now. There was a time when these were really common. Everyone just had, they were just bursting out of their inventories. People just chuck them on the ground. But glass blowers baubles are actually really rare now, and they're very useful for crafting your endgame flasks. And until you've crafted 20 quality on all of your flasks, you probably want to do this. And even after that, you can do it, and you can sell the glass blowers to other people. So, if I just vendor all these guys, what I can do, the easiest way to do this, you can be perfectionist about this, but the easiest way to do this is just kind of fiddle around with these guys until you, I'm selling one flask in here that is not the, I'm selling a few. See, if I take this out, I'm not losing a glass blower, so I can actually take out something. There we go. So that means I got a perfect, or close to perfect. You could fiddle around with it more, but I just like to kind of rush it. So there's 3 glass blowers, so I'll be able to use those. I'll tell you what, I'll chuck them on my answer as promise. Slowly start qualitying that up. I've got a long way to go. There's 5%, but that gives me more duration on my answer as promise. So if you guys in chat, I will try and watch chat as I go. If you guys have questions as I go, feel free to ask. So I pick up quality flasks as I go. Some people like to do quality weapons and quality armor. I really don't, because blacksmith whetstones and armor scraps are common enough, especially with the lockboxes that drop those things. They're just common enough that I find I never really need to pick up that sort of thing. And you're taking so many trips back to town if you're picking up every quality armor or weapon you find. I really don't think it's worth the time. I never do that recipe ever. So, what else do? I think I've picked up some gems, so let's do gems next. And I'll show you guys. Well, actually, we'll leave gems because I'm actually going to price gems, and I'll do that in the pricing section. So let's just, I guess we'll just start identifying some loot. I guess I'll start off with, we did jewelry in the last one. We'll start off with some jewelry here. Let me grab all of the jewelry I can see. I might miss some, but it's not a big deal if I do. Jewelry is fun, so we'll do that first. Some more belts. So any jewelry I pick up, any rare jewelry I pick up. I also pick up blue jewelry, especially in higher level maps. Typically if it's rolled well on the implicit. So something like, if I find a ruby ring that's got 30% on it and it's blue, I'll usually pick it up, but sometimes I just pick them up in general. What am I doing that for? So you see there's actually quite a few blue pieces of jewelry in here, and I'll explain why when we start identifying these, why I do pick these up, and I do often make some good money on blue jewelry. I haven't had too much luck this league, but usually I do, so I keep doing it with it. We'll leave the unique for now. Alright, let's keep shuffling all this stuff. Looks like I've got almost an inventory load of jewelry. This should be good. Oh, yes. Are all the vendor recipes in the wiki? They are. If you ever want to know about how vendor recipes work or what specific things you need, you can literally just go PoE wiki vendor recipes into Google, and that page has all the vendor recipes on it. So let's ID all these things here, and I'll start... what I'll do is, if any of the blues are just terrible, like just outright terrible, I'll vendor them. What I'm looking for in blue is typically just life and resist, right? Or a good roll in either of those that I can augment. So I'll keep these augment orbs here. I'm gonna need some more ID scrolls, I think. Oh, maybe I should have bought some before this. Oh, I can sell some blacksmith whetstones. We'll do that, so I don't run out mid video. Okay, and then I missed one there. So this one here is perfect example. This is why I pick up blue jewelry. This right here, 77 life. This is halfway to being a sellable ring. If this had 77 life and 40 fire resist on it, this would be sellable. I think I talked about this a little bit in the previous video, but I'll augment that. I got rarity, 10% rarity, 77 life, 10% rarity. It's not on a gold ring, probably just vendor food. So let's go through and vendor each of these things here. That's got 44 life, but only, that's like, so if it was just that, I would augment that, hoping for life. The weapon Ellie roll is a good roll to get on a belt, but it's pretty low, like that's a really low roll, so I'm going to vendor that as well. But if that was a high weapon Ellie, I might actually keep that. This one, 34 crit multi, is actually really good, so I'll augment that as well. 5 to 11 fizz? I don't know, on this one, what I'll do, I think the fizz roll is a bit low. I'll go to the website PoE mods, which you guys might recognize from the previous video if you watched that. And that was on an amulet, so I'll go to amulets. So we can first look at the crit multiplier suffix. We got, this is actually out of date. I think this is actually, I think it only goes to here, or maybe it goes to here now. They actually removed some of those, so when they nerfed crit multi a couple patches back, I think. So that's actually out of date, but the fizz damage will be incorrect. So it's a mid tier fizz roll, not very good. I think probably not really sellable, just with the mid tier fizz and not a very good crit multi. 76 life again, sellable. Couple chaos, at least 2 chaos, worth regaling potentially. That's a good life roll, very good cold resist roll. That's why I pick up blue jewelry right there. Yes, one actually worked out. Awesome. I was like, I better pick up all this blue jewelry and try to show you guys how it works, and then nothing works. 50 mana regen, 24 ES. That's worth keeping. That one's vendor food. That's only 25 lightning resist. It's a perfect implicit. I'll chuck an augment on it. Augments aren't really worth much. Armor, I'll vendor it. 9 ES isn't really worth anything. So again, I'm just looking for life and resistance. That resistance roll is a little bit low, so probably not going to really worry about that one. That one's got nothing on it of value. 84 life on a life-based belt. Oh, baby. 38 strength. Wow. That's so much life on one item. I don't know. I don't know if someone would want to regal that for a resist. That might be regalable. I think that one might be worth regaling, because if you got lucky and regaled like a... I don't know, a regal's a bit to expend on that, on the hope of getting a resist though. I don't know if I'd regal that one, but this one potentially valuable, because you could regal a decent resist. I think you probably need a couple resists on a belt for it to be worth it. I think I'll just vendor that. Probably not worth it. Fast charges by itself, it's not really worth anything. What else have we got here? Crit strike chance, it's a low roll, it's not really worth anything. That one's pretty bad. I think that's all the blues. Just intelligence by itself isn't enough. Okay. So we got to, and that's the secondary reason why I pick up blue jewelry. They actually, for the size they take up in your inventory, when they don't work out, they actually sell for decent alteration shards. And alt shards add up. They add up. Okay, what do we got here? So that ring was really good. I think there was another one too that I managed to craft in here somewhere. That one's terrible. Why have we got that? I think there was another one in here somewhere, I'm sure. That one was like mana regen energy shield. I don't know about that one. That one I might just chuck up for like an alc or something for someone to buy. I thought there was another one in here. Maybe not. Hey, Sir Lift a Lot, thank you for subscribing, sir. I appreciate the support, man. Glad you've been enjoying the stream. Oh yes. I thought I found another blue ring that I rolled life on, but I must be tripping. Okay, so we got this one here, which is potentially worth regaling, or you could sell. I think I'm going to. I only have 2 regals. I think you could chuck this up for like 1, 2 chaos or something like that. You could try and price check it. I think we'll leave this for later until we do a valuing session, which is what I was going to say I was going to do next. Hey, I missed a rustic sash there. So I'm going to start leaving valuable items in a stash tab, and we'll do later on a separate pricing or valuing strategy. So, but you have a few options with that one. Okay, so now we're going to work out which of these are any good. So this one, that one's Chaos Vendor Recipe. Yeah, pretty much Chaos Vendor Recipe. That one's got a decent life roll, not very good fire resist. It's an unset ring base, so that one's probably Chaos Recipe, not very good. Good resist, but pretty much nothing else. I'm actually going to run out of slots here on my Chaos Vendor Recipe. Oh boy, oh boy. That one is life and dual res on a cloth belt, but the rolls are not very good. I don't think that one would sell. That one's the same sort of deal, life and dual res, but not very good rolls. That one's got almost nothing. That one's got almost nothing. Good mana regen, but basically nothing else. Basically nothing on that one. I think I'll probably just vendor that one. Don't think I'm going to worry about this one. It's a fizz damage roll and a fizz damage ring with a bit of extra resist. No life. Can probably have life added to it though. Let's check. Okay, that can have life added to it. That's potentially valuable. So we'll keep that one aside. 92 life, 40 fire res on a perfect implicit rustic sash. Bit of the extra bonus ES for an Eldritch Battery character maybe. Yeah, that one's definitely worth something. That one's not very good. 84 life, 31 fire. Yeah, that one's also worth something. Those are decent rolls. That one's nothing, and that one's nothing. So these ones are all vendor recipe, and these ones are to be valued later. So I've evaluated them as potentially valuable items, but we'll price them a little bit later. So just at this point, like when I'm doing like this mass IDing session, just looking for things that are potentially sellable. And the rest is going to be vendor recipes. Now I actually need to do some chaos recipes to clear out some space here. So what I'm going to do is get a full set of rare items. We'll identify this here. 80 life, 30 fire, 25 move speed. That's actually not a too bad pair of boots. Early on in the league, I'd probably sell that pretty easily. But I think now without... what can I get on that actually? Can I have another resist rolled on it? I can have another resist. I think that's sellable actually. So we'll put that in the pricing section there. So I need another pair of boots here so I can use the vendor recipe. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is grab some gloves, boots, chest armor, 2 weapons, and a helmet hopefully. If I can find a helmet. Do I have a helmet in here? I do. And I need to ID this weapon, I'll use that. Alright, so then I'm going to... Looks like I've got everything I need here. Full set of rares, over level 60, and that will give us... I'm not going to use the 2-stone though, I'll explain why in a moment. These things were all not valuable. Full set of rares, and we get a chaos orb. So I'll try and do this as much as I can as I go. You really want to use all of your jewelry in Chaos Vendor Recipe, and basically, as you're acquiring jewelry, so as you're getting a belt, 2 rings, and an amulet, you should basically be using it in the Vendor Recipe to make chaos orbs. Now I can chuck this stuff over there though. Okay. Alright, what are we up to now? I think we'll just start doing mixed loot now, guys. So let me grab some of this stuff over here. Alright. Now, a word on picking up blue of non-jewelry. If you're looking for a specific item type, like let's say I'm a one-handed sword character, right? Jeweled foils I know are a really good base rapier. I might start picking up blue jeweled foils, because all it takes is like getting a tyrannical fizz roll. You know, it's very rare, but if you do get that on a blue, that's still an extremely valuable item. So that's a tyrannical roll is like a top fizz damage, increased fizz damage roll. So it can be worth picking up blues of a specific type you're looking for if you're really looking for a really good sword or something like that. I don't do that too much, to be honest though, but it is something you can do. So it's not something I do too much. I just stick with the rares for now. Alright, so let's ID these guys. And I'll go through which ones I use in the vendor recipe as much as possible. I try to keep some chests aside. I'm not going to use bows because they take up too much space. This one's attack speed, whatever, nothing. Life and 2 res. When I see that, I like, alright, let's take another look at it. It's got a little bit of ES on it. The resistance rolls are a bit low. Life rolls not great. No real good energy shield. It's pretty bad. It's also a low base. You can see the required level 45 Callous Mask base. Not very good. But I will keep that for the vendor recipe though. Alright, that one's got basically nothing on it. This one's got life or resist and extra resistances. Those things are all good on shield. However, tower shields are very popular at the moment for having a lot of armor, and this one doesn't have a lot of armor. And without like a lot more resist on it, not really worth anything. Okay, this one, for one-handed weapons, if it's got elemental rolls, you're literally looking for 2 attacks per second. If it doesn't have 2 attacks per second, vendor it. There's very few cases where less than 2 attacks per second on an elemental one-hander are worth it. So the exceptions are like wands getting like crit chance can be worth it, but for normal ones you want really fast attack speed. This one here, yeah, pretty bad. So we'll vendor that. Although what we can do is use those for the chaos recipe, so we'll do some of that. So we got helmet, we've got chest, gloves. We'll have to grab some boots, and we'll grab some amulet, ring. Actually, I'll keep those guys. Ring, belt. And I think that'll be everything. We just need some boots, I think, it looks like. So I'll go cherry pick some boots out of here for a bit, and hopefully we'll get a few more chaos. So we'll be making a bunch of chaos out of this anyway, even if we don't find anything too sellable. But we've already found some sellable things. Okay, 2 one-handers. I'm pretty sure you can use wand and melee weapon together. I think that works fine. Yep, there we go. I sold something extra, but whatever. No biggie. We're gonna have plenty of items there. I'm sure we'll be able to use them all up. If not, I'll use them at some point. Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm putting my currency in my Chaos Vendor tab. What a debacle. Alright, let's grab some more items here. We have a unique this time, so what I'm going to do for uniques, in this new league, there's now challenges that have identifying loot. So if I got a challenge here, identify these unique items. So what you can do is you can check. I know this item's Queen's Decree. If you're not very familiar with uniques, then you may need to kind of like look around and see what the art matches to. That might be difficult. I'm honestly not sure how you would do that. I guess look up two-handed swords on the wiki and see which one is which. So I can just look for Queen's Decree here. It looks like it's in order. I can't see Queen's Decree there. So it looks like Queen's Decree is not on there. So in that case, I'll ID it and chuck it in here to sell. I mean, uniques, I'm going to just put them all here now. I kind of know the value of uniques, but I'll take you guys through the method of pricing uniques, because uniques are very easy to price usually. So I'll take you guys through that process shortly. Alright, two-handers I'm just going to vendor. Keep the helmets for the chaos recipe. These one-handers that take up more space, I'll vendor. Not seeing anything here. Elemental two-handers are never really worth anything. These are all slow attack speed bases, so not really worth anything either. Looks like we've got a +2 minion here. It's evasion, energy shield. I think minion builds typically use... How do they use it? A lot of reds and blues, so armory ES, or a lot of blues. I'm not sure exactly how it works out. So this one I'm not sure on, but it's a +2 minion helmet, and it's got life and resist, and a bit of extra, you know, evasion, energy shield on there. So that one is another one that I can put in here as potentially valuable. +2 minion with life and resist. That's when you're starting to see some value there. So always check, I guess, a +2 minion if it's got life and resist for value. That one's not very good. So these ones can all be Chaos Vendor recipe'd. I think I might not do too many Chaos Vendor recipes for you guys, just because it's going to take too much time. But you guys, I think, get the gist. At this point, just keep Chaos Vendor recipeing as much stuff as you can. I'm actually going to just not do it though, because it's going to take too much time up. So let's continue sorting. But yeah, I think you guys get the gist with it. Do the Chaos Vendor recipe. +2 minion is okay for SRS, a bit of a stepping stone until I get a staff, a 5-link. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, this one here is why did you pick up a white item? If you're brand new to the game, you might not know this recipe. This is a chromatic item, 3 linked, at least 3 linked of red, blue, and green. Sells for a chromatic orb. So whenever you see these guys, you pick them up. I usually don't pick up larger chromatic items. Like if this wasn't a 6-socket, I wouldn't pick this up, just because they takes too much space, and I don't want to go back to town all the time. But this is a small item, only takes up 3 sockets. About as good as you can get for a chromatic orb, so I'll pick that up because it's basically the same as picking up a chromatic. This one here is a 6-socket item. It sells for 7 Jeweler's Orbs. Another white item you'll pick up. You can pick this up as white, blue, rare. It'll sell for Jeweler's Orbs. Same for this. But this is the sort of item you would even pick up as white. Some 6 sockets might actually be worth something. It really depends on if it's like a really good base item and a high eye level. So it's not something you're going to experience too much, I think. I think most 6 sockets you can just sell for the 7 jewelers. Alright, these gloves have literally nothing on them. This one's got Fizz damage and Mana Leech. Those are good starting points, but no life or resist. No one's really going to want those. Good cold resist, good chaos resist, nothing really else. Meh. I'm looking for life, resist, attack speed, Fizz damage, leech on gloves. Those are all good things. +2 melee, that's got nothing on it. Life, a little tiny bit of ES. For ES body armor, you need as high energy shield as you can get, because anyone who's going to wear an ES body armor is either going to be Mind Over Matter, Eldritch Battery, or Hybrid, or ES based, and they all want high ES, so that's like the priority. This one's got life and some ES and resist. You can get like armor ES gear that has really high ES, almost as good as like an ES chest, and has life and resist. Those can be quite valuable to like hybrid characters. Hey, Rich J Money! Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for throwing some of your Rich J Money pile at me. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Again, none of these guys are good. Plus melee gems is not worth anything, really. No one really uses plus melee gems. There was a time when people used plus melee gems, when Viper Strike was a thing that scaled with plus melee gems, but no longer does. So, it's vendor food. Life, accuracy, and resist are all good on helmet. However, these rolls are all pretty bad. 12 fire resist is really low. 50 life is like half, and the accuracy is nothing like super impressive anyway, I don't think. So let's just vendor all this, but you'll see as we're going, we're making quite a few alterations, and that is actually, I think people underestimate the value of alterations, but when you're like boss farming or map farming and selling these rares, these alts add up. You can trade these up for jewelers into fusings, and then you can trade the fusings for chaos, or you can literally just sell them in bulk for chaos or exalts if you get enough of them. They're also very useful for rolling maps as well, so alterations are a consistent slow way into money, essentially. Got a little bit. Hopefully we fill that stash tab with potentially valuable items we can price at the end here. Okay, what do we got? So one-handed swords, we're looking for, as I said, 2 attacks per second for Ellie, or physical, just needs to be high physical damage. So to sort of identify by sight high physical damage swords, you're looking for increased physical damage, over 100% usually, or very close to 100% at least, and then flat physical damage, and hopefully attack speed. But this has flat fizz, but nothing else. +2 melee is nothing, but it's got all resist. It's got a perfect cold resist roll, a decent lightning resist, and all resist. If that can have life added to it, oh, it could be good. We'll check this one. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. So this one's got, I see the IPD, but I don't see any flat. It's got really nice crit chance roll, but nothing else, so it's not worth anything. This one's got flat fears, but and increased attack speed, but it could only have one IPD roll added to it, and it's really not that good enough to worry about at all. That one's not any good. Nothing there, and nothing there. Okay, so this shield here is interesting. I want to see if this can have life added to it. Where is life? Why am I not seeing life? Yes, it can have life added to it. Okay, this is a good shield. This has all resist, a decent roll, perfect cold resist, extra lightning resist. It's an evasion shield. The problem with evasion shields is people usually want pretty high evasion, so maybe it's not going to be that valuable. It's got a little bit of extra evasion on there. With quality, you'll have like 400 evasion. But it's got really good resist. It could have life on it. Could be a nice stepping stone. I don't think it'll be worth much. Maybe a couple cows, but we'll put that in for the pricing. Waddle waddle. That duck song. Oh my god, the stupid waddle waddle thing's been stuck in my head ever since Pox linked me yesterday. that duck song. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't look it up. Do yourself a favor. Okay, what do we got here? Nothing on these daggers at all. In hardcore, you can get away with selling life resistance quivers if they have a little bit of damage. In softcore, people pretty much just want DPS quivers. This has like life resist and leech. Those are all okay-ish things. It's got a bit of accuracy, but accuracy on a crit base is a good combination. Nothing really blowing me away. I mean, life leech, not that super helpful. If it was mana leech, it'd be a bit more helpful. I don't know, can you get mana leech on quivers? Not actually sure. But just nothing there to blow me away. Quivers need to be pretty damn good, especially because they're competing with drill neck. Everybody loves their drill necks. That one's pretty bad. Very low fizz damage roll. 20%? What is this? That's terrible. Alright, that's pretty bad. And that one's got 2 good resists and decent flat ES. Would that be worth anything if we could add energy shield to it? What is the base? How much energy shield would it end up with? That actually might be worth something. With 2 decent resists and a bit of flat ES, this is one where it's worth, I think, checking PoE mods. So we'll go to Helm. What I want to see is how high is that flat ES, because I know the resists are high, but I'm not very familiar with flat ES. So let's check the flat energy shield here. Local energy shield, it's got 50, wait, hold on, it's got 43, which is tier 2, seething. That's not that bad. I think that might be worth something if you add flat percentage ES to that. It could have, I would have to do when we price this, we'll kind of like do the math on the ES, work out how much ES it has, and then price it based on that with resists. But I think that has value, so we'll chuck that in the has value tab. Do you have grapes? Ah, it's so bad. It's so bad. All right, let's add some more stuff here, guys. Okay, this is a wand with spell damage crit chance. That's a good start for a wand. For wands, I roughly look for a total of 100%-ish spell damage. And then I'm looking for crit chance and cast speed or cast speed. This one here is, I don't think, good enough. It's the total spell damage is not quite over 100. The crit chance, it's only got crit chance, no cast speed. Yeah, I don't think it's that good. But it was close. It was worth, taking a second glance at, essentially. This one grabbed my eye because I saw increased physical damage, flat physical damage, and attack speed. Pretty much most of the things that a Wanda wants. Crit chance is another thing they really want, but the increased physical damage is very low. I think, can it have another phys damage roll add on it? It might actually be able to. Can you add this with Vegan, or you might have to do this through you might have to do that through Katarina, which I never do Katarina's missions because I loathe them. This one might be able to have another IPD roll added to it. Let's check. So what we're checking now, I know this is a hybrid roll, right? This is a hybrid fizz accuracy roll. I'm fairly certain it is. So what I want to see now is how high that is, and whether this would be worth mastercrafting another one on there. I think this one actually could be pretty good, but no crit. Sorry, did I say cast speed? Tora does fizz on ones. Okay, so I can't craft this one myself, but I could give this to someone to craft or sell this to someone to craft. Let me have a look. So this is fizz damage accuracy. We're looking at 42. Is not that good. At this point in the league, it might actually be okay though. Yeah, it's not that high increased or hybrid. But with an added crafting roll, it could have something like 80 something added to it. It would be over 100%. The flat fizz might not be high enough. Where's the flat fizz? Where is flat fizz? Oh, there it is. 7 to 16 is like mediocre as well. I don't know. It seems mediocre. Maybe it would be valuable enough with some with another IPD roll added on it. It's Tora. Is it Tora, not Katarina? She does ranged weapons. Oh, you're right. It is Tora. So you could add 79 IPD on it. I don't know. The way you would work. Alright, we'll leave that one. We'll price it later. It'll be an interesting experiment in showing how to price fizz weapons before you craft them. Okay, what do we got here? Energy shield with all resist, good cold resist. It grabs my attention, but it's a spellcaster shield and has no additional spellcaster mods on there. If it was amazing, like in terms of defensive values, then someone would probably want it. But since it doesn't have any spell damage on there, I don't know. It's got a nice all resist, it's got a nice cold resist, it's got a little bit of ES. Maybe it would sell for like a chaos or two. That's got mana leech, which is useful, a bit of accuracy, nothing else though. 30 move speed, bit of rarity, bit of cold res, almost. Probably not good enough to really warrant selling. These guys are all pretty bad. Melee. Ugh. That one's got increased fizz, only 5 to 9 flat though, that kind of kills it. And that's on a helmet. You really want People, when they go for a defensive helmet, they go for high life and tri-res, so that's a decent single life res, but no one's looking for single life res helmets. So I think all this is vendor food. There's another 8 alterations. A couple more alch shards. The alch shards come from plus gems is one of the main sources. I think chaos res gives some as well, and there's something like with thorns. There's a few things that give alch shards, a few random things, but you kind of just get it passively as you sell all the stuff anyway. You don't really need to think about it. Okay. Alright, that's got nothing on it. I can kind of just like sight a lot of these things. You know, that's low attack speed, very low damage rolls. Got okay damage rolls, crit chance. That one might be worth something. I would need to check how much DPS that has. Oh, it's a low base. It's a level 50 base. Could be sold as a leveling dagger maybe, because that's pretty good for a level 50 dagger actually. With quality, that'll be pretty nice for level 50. So that could be a leveling crit dagger build. Dagger there. Life and resist, not enough of anything. That's another chromatic item. So we'll chuck that in the valuation tab. Most leveling stuff in softcore is only going to sell for like a chaos or something anyway. Alright, this is another lattice. This one's lattice ringmail. It's Ice Tomb. I don't think Ice Tomb has a challenge associated with it. Nah, I can't see. Infernal Mantle is the only one, so nothing associated with Ice Tomb, so we can ID it and chuck it in the tab here. Again, I know the value on those ones, but I want to show you guys how to price them anyway. Okay, nothing there. That one's got a high increased physical damage roll, but it's got fire damage, and I don't think it looks like it's even got a hybrid in there as well, so it's already got 3 prefixes. Can't have anything else added to it in terms of damage. And there's another chromatic item. Working our way through it. Minion bonus on helm gives alch shards. That's a plus gems, so any plus gem gives alch shards. So this one here has plus 2 socket and melee, so this will sell for an alch shard at least. Yep, alch shard and alteration shards. And that one's bad. It's good, you actually make quite a few alchs just by vendoring your rares as you go. Oh, we've got something different in this one to show off. So this time, this one's just a white gavel. This is actually used for another vendor recipe. What I'll do with these guys, I actually talked about this in a recent chance orbing video because they're kind of related, but just 20 qualitying a gavel or a stone hammer. There's another one, anything that looks like this art just here. If you pick it up white, you can 20 quality it for 4 blacksmith whetstones and then sell it with a map. I usually just use like a bad map I don't want to run anyway, so what do we got here? Whatever, I'll just use a museum map, it doesn't really matter. So you sell those and you get a chisel back, right? Which is essentially like an alch's value. So you make a decent little profit there just by picking that up. But I also like to chance orb these because they have a chance of becoming Mjolnirs. I got a rare, it really doesn't matter. It's not worth anything. I'll just do the same recipe and get a chisel anyway. So just a little bit of extra, another way just to get a little bit of extra currency out of things that drop. It's basically just like picking up a chisel. So. Increased rarity gives alch shards. I think you might be right. Yeah. Orchard, Orchard level 66 Orchard is the one I always use on chisels if I have it, because no one ever runs Orchard. It's terrible. Life and resist, but again, you know, nothing really else. The accuracy roll is atrocious. Not really good enough to warrant anything there. But we're making decent little bits of currency here, just from the IDing process. Okay, I think we have a bit more to do in here. A few more chromatics chilling in here. Got another Baited Breath. I think this is one of the challenge ones. I identified this for myself. Baited Breath, yep. So I've got this challenge. What you could do is this one here, you could actually see that it was Baited Breath based on the art and compare that to the art on the PoE wiki and then sell that for like an extra chaos over what it's worth. But I think it's like a 1 alch or 1 chaos item. But people are paying like an extra chaos just to identify them. So that one would be better left unidentified if you just wanted to get the raw cash. Okay, I might run out of scrolls here. Again, you should be using all these like helmets and gloves and boots and chest armors and one-handed like daggers and stuff in the Chaos Vendor recipe. You could even use two-handers, it really doesn't matter. Alright, I don't think any of these looked any good. Nope. I kind of just like do it without thinking, autopilot on selling stuff that just straight away doesn't appear to have any value. But I'll try and talk through why that is for each of these things. There's another 6 socket to vendor. Eternal Burgeonet is a good armor-based helmet, so this is like always a nice one to pick up and identify. This one, I sold one of these for an Exalt earlier, actually. Mitogan, thank you for subscribing, sir. Appreciate the support, Mitogan, welcome. Just in time, that's the Eternal Burgeonet hype right there. I actually sold an Eternal Burgeonet for an Exalt earlier today. It had life, it had 3 resistances, one of the resistances was a Chaos resistance, and it had increased armor on it. It had like 90% increased armor, and that gave it like almost 1,000 armor, so, with quality, so it's just like a really nice defensive item. It's like such a huge amount of defense for a helmet slot. So that was pretty good. Selling one of those for an Exalt was very nice. Life and some resist, but nothing really that good there. Nothing moving me, nothing bringing me to tears. And none of these look any good. This is a minion helmet, so I take another look at it. I see that it has a rarity and a resist. Not too bad. It's a fencer helmet though, and that might be difficult to get colors on. And without any life on it already, and without the rarity being higher, and I don't know, might be difficult to actually sell that. I think I've tried to sell things like that. Maybe that one could potentially sell, but I'm just going to vendor it because I get an Alk Shard for it. Oh baby. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Here we go. Well, instead of doing this, I'll vendor some transmutations because I tend to use those less than the other things. There we go. I always have extra transmutes, and they equal scrolls. Which, when you're doing mass IDing sessions like this, you'll chew through your scrolls. If you start running like Dominus runs, like a part of what I did for this was getting into a group with 1-person magic finding, so stacking item rarity and item quantity, and we all ran Dominus and joined up for the kills, and got a lot of loot there. You can join public parties to do that, and it's a great way to get like this much loot really quickly, and just start producing at the very least alterations and Alk Shards, which all adds up. But you'll also get sellable stuff. This one I looked at this, I was like, but not quite. It's got 3 resistances. It's got energy shield on an ES base. Unfortunately, the energy shield is really, really low. 19% is really low. If that was like 100, then maybe you could add some flat ES and this would actually be valuable. But chests need to be really good. Like this. They need to have that high life roll. They need to have the tri-res. They need to have the extra defensive stats on them. I actually 5-linked this chest armor myself because I knew it was good enough to warrant 5-linking. This one, not so much. That's actually vendor. Like, vendoring a tri-res item is kind of like, what? But it's just not good enough. Not enough ES. I mean, maybe someone would pay a chaos for that, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to vendor it on principle of it not being good enough. And none of these guys look to be panning out either. Okay. How much have we got to go here? We've still got a few tabs to go. Quite a few more bits of loot to sort through. And then at the end we'll be able to price some of the things that we've found that have value. So far, almost half a stash tab. Hopefully we can fill that stash tab with things that have value. Haven't seen any GG items yet. 135 increased fizz with attack speed. The attack speed rolls really low, and it's not a very good base. Auric Mace is pretty slow. It's got stun threshold. Could be like a stun weapon. I think this can have flat fizz added to it. I don't think it would be good enough though. Yeah, with that really low attack speed roll, I don't think that's going to be good enough. But this was almost good. With a bit more attack speed, you could add flat fizz to this, and it would actually be pretty decent DPS, and it would work well as like a one-hand ground slam, perma-stun build or something weapon, but yeah, not very good. Okay, this one's got crit chance, increased energy shield, and a resist. Not a bad start for a spellcaster shield. No spell damage though. And that kind of makes a bigger difference than the crit chance for spells. So it's not a very good shield, but it might be sellable. +1 lining with nothing else. This is an elemental one-hander. That's actually worth something. So it's a fast base, serrated foil, with 23 attack speed, very good roll. And it's got some elemental damage on it. I mean, it could have another elemental damage roll added to it. You could add some... You should be able to. Can you not add ele damage? Yeah, you can, totally. There we go. You could add like... Someone could add lightning damage to that. But I don't think it'll be worth a lot because it doesn't have like any extra... I don't know, it might be actually. It's over 2 attacks per second. We would need to price that. We will value it later. But I see over 2 attacks per second. I see a little bit of elemental damage on there. And I'm like, alright, that's worth something. Again, that might be worth something. And that one's pretty bad. But that's like basically for elemental spectral throw one-hander. That's all you need to get started is over 2 attacks per second. A little bit of early damage is nice too. Yeah, it's got a really fast attack speed. Almost 2.1, isn't it? Let's have a look. Almost 2.1, which is really fast. I mean, just getting 2 attacks per second, but getting almost 2.1 is a big step up. The reason for that is that elemental attack builds, they scale their damage based on stacking flat elemental damage and then attacking with it as fast as possible. So the faster the attack speed, the more DPS they do essentially. This one's a life and a resist, but I'm still going to sell that for $7. It's more than I would get for it otherwise. +2 socketed, cold gems, spell damage, attack speed, meh. Occultist Vestment, I picked these up to Chancellor. And in the hopes of getting Chevron's wrappings, but no dice, no dice. Okay, not saying anything of value there. This is another unique here. Another one to check if it's in the Challenge League here. This is a new one, the Rat Cage. Yep, so I ID'd this one and got this. This is another one that you could sell unidentified. But we'll just have to sell it identified now. I don't think it's worth much anyway, but we'll price it anyway. We'll do gems at the end because they'll all get priced. I'll show you. I'll go through and show what gems I pick up. I sold one with 2 early and 2.1 attack speed for 1 arc earlier. Yeah, at this point in the league, we're a couple weeks in, might not be worth much. Early on in the league though, you could probably sell just something with just 2 attack speed, over 2 attack speed for a couple chaos. But yeah, at this point it might not be worth much, but it's worth checking. It's good enough to be worth checking. This is an example of an item that shouldn't be picked up, just a white item that does nothing. Sells for a scroll fragment. So I got bow gems, nothing here. I'm seeing tri-res there with a bit of ES and energy shield, ES evasion. Not very good though. Life, armor, a bit of resist, and none of them really good. Again, chests need to be really good to be sellable. Yeah, the reason why the unidentified uniques I've been talking about is people are buying them for the achievements. They're paying like an extra chaos or more, especially if it's a valuable item already, to be able to have the ability to identify it so that they get the challenge. I actually missed some jewelry in here, it looks like. Get to do a little bit more jewelry action. I must have missed that whole tab. Okay, oh, more jewelry, I like it. Oh, I saw something interesting there. Okay, we've got 2 resistances, rarity, and move speed. Those are all good things to have on boots, especially if you can still get some life action on there, but I don't think it's good enough. I don't think the rarity is high enough, I don't think the resists are high enough, I don't think the move speed is high enough. If that was like 30 move speed, maybe I'd think about it, but I don't think that's good enough. Okay, chromatic item, another 6 socket. You'll find quite a few 6 sockets. Oh, hello. 184 fizz damage, but it's hybrid and there's cold damage. No! I was almost really good. I don't think Kuriax is a good base anyway, so not a big loss. But 184 fizz damage, as soon as I see that, I'm like, ooh, hello. And then if that didn't have cold damage, it could have flat fizz added to it, and would probably actually be pretty nice DPS, but it's already got attack speed. But the cold ruins it. The cold ruins it. So I don't think that's worth it. This one's got... Damn, the cold ruins it again. Oh my god, the cold ruined it again. This one could have been really good. It's got decent attack speed, it's 1.87, that's really good. It's got crit chance. It's got 45% increased physical, which is a hybrid roll. It's got 11 to 20 flat fizz, which is okay. If you could add another fizz to that, that would be like 110 IPD with 11 to 20 with crit chance and with attack speed. That'd actually be a really sick sword. But the cold damage ruins it. Oh my god. Destroyed by the cold damage. That'd be such a good sword if it didn't have that cold damage. But now it's sold for an augment, and that's because it's got 6 properties as well. So I'm going to chance amethyst rings for Ming's Heart. I got a rare, so that's a win too. That one's got 71 life, and it's a gold ring. If I get like rarity or a resist, I think rarity's prefix actually. Oh no, it's both. Oh, life or resist. Couple chaos. GG. I spent an augment, got a couple chaos back. Or resist like a sick roll. That's really good. Nice. Goodbye, crappy sword. So, how is this one? Elemental damage, a bit of elemental damage, accurate. That's pretty bad. This one here is worth doing something with. This one is ES evasion mana leech. Ugh, I think that's vendor. So these guys will all go in the vendor tab here. Vendor. Yes, Rich J Money wants it to be known that he is buying unidentified items for the challenge, and he is tipping greatly. Okay, I'm gonna be just pricing my own loot for now. Sorry guys, I can't do your price checks. But through watching this, you'll be able to better price your own items. That's the hope, at least. Teach a man to fish, that sort of thing. Nothing here. Attack speed. I mean, we've got attack speed and 2 good elemental rolls, but it's just really slow. It's 1.6. It's just way too slow for an elemental build. But if that, if this was a better base sword, it's because it's a bad base. I mean, 24 attack speed is a good roll, but that shows the importance of the base item in terms of rolling, especially for weapons. The base is very important because some bases have higher base damage but lower attack speed, some have higher attack speed, lower base damage. That becomes very important when it comes to like rolling an elemental weapon, because if this was a base that had 1.7 attacks per second to begin with, it would have almost 2 attacks per second now or over, and good Ellie rolls, it would be worth something, but it's not. It is not. I'm pretty sure claws follow the same route, but claws are typically only worth it as fizz because they have physical attack damage leached as life, and that's their whole appeal. The exception is some lower base claws have life gain on hit, and I think some people pick those up for elemental claw builds. Very unpopular though, so not something I bother with. Just not worth the time to sort through them all, I think. Alright, none of that's any good. Now teach us how to fish in PoE. Teach a man to fish. No, I meant metaphorically fishing. I already have a fishing video. I identified those uniques, but I'm pretty sure Ondar's clasp is not in the list anyway. But you should check each unique and see. This whole like sell unidentified items for the challenge thing is a bit weird in my opinion. 30% move speed, perfect cold res, but 6% lightning. Ugh. And then no extra ES on ES boots, so pretty bad. Nope. Killed by the cold resist? Nah, that was pretty dead anyway. Savant's Robe? Why are you even in my inventory? It's another mistaken one there. Spell damage, all attributes. Nah. Alright. Where are we up to here? Alright. Doom. We know you're behind the fishing facade. What facade? I don't know what you're talking about. Fishing? Fishing's cool, man. Fishing's cool in Path of Exile. Spell damage, fire damage, lightning damage, crit chance. So this one's an interesting one just to point out because when it comes to spellcaster weapons, spellcaster wands, etc., you can get spell damage plus an element, and that can make up a good total. Remember when I was saying you're looking for like over 100 spell damage, or at least 100 spell damage? You could get like something like 60 spell damage, and then the implicit spell damage brings you to like 80 or something, but then you could get like 20% fire damage, which takes you over 100, and it just all adds up for purposes of a firecaster build, but that one's way too low anyway, but it's just still good. A good one just to point out that fact. Cold gems, meh, not worth anything. Some resists and flat damage, but nothing really there. We're looking for attack speed, very high accuracy rolls, extra crit. Otherwise, if it's going to be defensive, it needs to have very high resistances in life. You just need a good collection of really good rolls on a quiver from each of those things. Especially in the softcore leagues, you're looking for crit chance, flat damage, attack speed, crit multiplier, that sort of thing. So this is an Atsuri fragment. You get these from killing corrupted bosses in corrupted maps or in doing the Vile side zones. Sacrifice at Midnight is the one that is very valuable. It's worth several chaos. I don't know exactly how much at this point, so I'll just say it's worth more than 2 chaos. And the other ones I keep anyway because they can be used with a map, so you can put the map in the map machine and this, and it gives you extra quantity. So they're useful to get and keep. You should definitely pick those up. Okay, life and chaos resist, but nothing else. Nothing really here. No, it's got fizz anyway, but again, tri-elemental axes are never really a thing. Don't even really get your hope up for that one. Okay. What are we up to here? 23? A little bit more on 23. 24. 2 more tabs to go. Got another unique there. I don't think I found any good uniques. Before you guys get too excited, I don't think I found any GG uniques in this collection. Just a few kind of ones. I think I need to get some more ID scrolls here. Oh, I'm going to not have enough space here. You can now put them in the device by itself to run a corrupted zone. That's true, you can do that. Some people do that to farm for midnights. They run the normal ones to farm for midnights fragments. The ones that are valuable. So you can do that. Again, you could check the Sage's Road there to see if it was one that's worth identifying. It's, I honestly can't remember the name of it. It's like Zenduthius Cassock or something. There you go. I don't think that's one that's in the challenges anyway. A set is not 9 or 10 chaos if a midnight is full chaos. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. The other ones are not going to sell for a couple chaos each. 33 life, if that was higher I would augment it, but not high enough. I know that this is basically a vendor food unique, I'm pretty sure, but we'll put them all in there and I'll show you guys how to do it anyway in the next part. Alright, that's all vendor food. Let's put this in the check for value tab, or the potential value tab. For tower shields are becoming popular now. The reason for that is they nerfed block chance, but increased shield defenses, increased defenses from an equipped shield. You can actually get a huge amount of that now. So getting a high armor shield, you can basically like reach the mitigation cap, like reach very high mitigation with almost just a tower shield with a lot of increased defenses. But what that means is when you're identifying these sorts of shields, you're looking for very high increased armor. You're looking for flat armor and increased armor rolls. And then of course life and resistance is always nice to get. But the armor is the really big part. Just armor by itself is not really going to be worth something to most people, I think. But armor and a bit of resist, and it's going to be worth something. Anyway, that's what people are looking for these days. This one here, I'll show you guys this process, since I don't know what this one is, right? So let's go PoE wiki unique belts. I'm just typing that into Google there. List of unique belts. And hopefully this has been updated. Belt of the Deceiver. So I can just match the art there. Then I can check the challenges. Challenges, Belt of the Deceiver. So this is one to identify. So I can sell this unidentified. And I'll get more currency for it. Since I'm not really fussed on the challenges myself, I will go ahead and sell that. So I'll probably get like an extra chaos or something for that. So not too bad. Maybe even Rich will buy that off me. I have a lightning coil which is 4-socket 6-link. Hold on. That should be 4-link 6-socket. How much would you say it's worth? It's worth the same as, well, it's worth slightly more than, because it's 6-socket, it's worth slightly more than just a regular lightning coil. Because it's already, I'm not sure how much more though. Alright, life and 2 resists, not good enough rolls though, life's a bit low, resistances are only okay. Nothing really there. Yeah. Rich already has that one? Aw, too bad. Too bad, so sad. You putting word out there about NID helps me. Yeah, hopefully those people looking for the challenges now will have a few more sellers to peruse. Okay, we've got some spell damage, crit chance for spells. The increased critical strike chance doesn't work for spellcaster wands. That's a local one. It only applies to attacks made with the wand. It's kind of misleading. So this one's not really worth anything. The spell damage is too low anyway. It's got some IPD and attack speed, but it's the rolls are pretty low. I'll just sell it for the chrome. I'll take the chrome. That's probably the best deal I'm going to get on it. Here we go. Life Tri-Res. Oh, man. Oh, these boots. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. So, we've got Tri-Res boots that we can add move speed to with Tora. I think Tora does it. And, but the life roll is 22 life. Oh, man. It's so painful. They might be sellable still. That's a chromatic. If that had like 60 life or something, that would be really nice. And I could add the move speed to it. I'm pretty sure you can add them with Tora, right? Yeah, you can get like 12% move speed with it. But at that point, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to. we'll put it in the evaluation tab, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, there's this one is Bronze Leaf. I think this one is not in the challenges. Nope. This one is used for people use it for the MTX skin. You can use a skin transfer to make yourself look fancy with it. So it usually sells for like an Alcra Chaos. Chuck that in there. What else have we got here? In terms of bows, when you're looking for fizz bows, you're looking for Decimation or Harbinger bows. Harbinger being the better one, Decimation slightly slower attack speed. But with these types of bows, you're always looking for physical. So if you find like an elemental Decimation or Harbinger, it's kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of, usually you're looking for fast attack speed. It would have to be really good if it was like an elemental crit bow, kind of weird. But most people go crit fizz, and it's with Decimation or Harbinger are the bases they go for. So on this you're looking for high fizz DPS, same as all fizz weapons, but if you can get crit chance, especially crit chance, that one's a really big one, and crit multiplier and attack speed is a bonus. And it looks like none of these ones. +2 minion, but it's got rarity on it. +2 minion and rarity is good, but no life or resist means it's not going to sell. Okay. Let's clear out some space here. Man, I was running pretty low on alterations. I'm glad I finally got around to doing this. I need those alts to roll my maps. I've been running pretty low. Okay, what do we got here? I think, is that the last tab? Oh, we've got one more tab. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there. A whole bunch of nothing. Resistances and rarity, bit of ES, not really good enough. The lightning res roll is the only good one. All the rest are pretty low. Again, you should be using all these in the Chaos Vendor recipe, but it's just going to take me too long if I do that. Okay, Astral Plates is a very good base. We'll get into that in a sec though. Let me go through these ones first. Oh, that unset looked potentially good. I saw lots of percentages. No, it's not that good. This sort of thing is like, hey, it's got 2 resistances. Even if this had life and 2 resistances, it's actually only a ring with life and 1 resistance, because unset, you remove the implicit, which is up to 30% resist, so it's basically worthless. None of this is looking any good whatsoever. Yep, it's all pretty bad. Alright. Astral Plate is a very good armor, chest armor. It's got all resistance as an implicit, so it comes with 36 resistances no matter what. So if you get good life resistances and armor on top of that, you're in good shape. Ooh, close. It's life. It's got a bit of extra LE, not enough extra LE, and chaos resistance is pretty highly prized on armor-based characters, armor life-based characters. This was almost worth something. Not quite though, just a little bit too low. If the life roll is a little bit higher, if it had a bit more elemental resistances, it would be starting to look pretty good. But as it stands, yeah, I don't really think that's worth anything. It's worth vending though, because we get another Alk Shard! So good. Okay, and there's another Chaos for our Chaos tab. Or Ring for our Chaos tab. Was that the last one? I think that was it, guys. So, now the last thing I have to check through is gems, and I'll just explain gems briefly before we go into part 2. So let me grab all those gems. So, the way I manage gems is I use the buyout tab settings that I have from my procurement video to put 1 alk on my gems tab, right? And I just put gems in there. If I don't have a gem, I'll mostly pick it up. Now, some stuff like a level 1 raised zombie, no one's going to buy that. I'm not going to pick that up. Level 1 spark, I'm not going to buy that. Stuff that's like really readily available, this will just take some time to learn, but stuff that you like start the game with, level 1, no quality, I'm not going to bother putting it in there. But something like, hey, multi-traps, well, I found a multi-trap, I'll put it in there for an alk. Just pricing gems gets me so many sales, man. I sell multiple gems each day doing this, and that all adds up, and people just buy it just because they're priced, and they don't want to have to go through the process of making an offer for a gem. So just putting, each of these gems in here that are a little less common, and putting them for an alk, I'll get the sales. So something like 5 penetration, that'll probably sell. Some of these are quality. I'm obviously picking up quality gems. Level 6 quality leap slam. Yeah, that's still like only an alk. Not high enough to be worth anything else, but someone might just buy it because they're looking for a leap slam anyway, and it's an alk, so they're like, whatever. I've sold spectral throws, double strikes, fire traps. That's a good point, Rich, actually. Some things like leveling skills, like spectral throw and fire trap, other people who don't get those to start off with will just buy them. Although even though you can like mule like a spectral throw super easily, some people will probably still buy them just to save some time. Something like fire trap maybe, but flame blast, for example, that's a skill people will buy so they can level with it. But yeah, basically what I do is I just keep like one of each gem, right? If I sell like a temp chains, and I'm like, all right, I see another temp chains, I'll pick it up and put it in there because I sold one before. So that's how I kind of learn that, and I just keep a whole bunch of, you know, just random gems in here. You know, some that have very small amounts of quality, and I'll just sell those for an alch. And if they don't sell after a while, I'll use them in the GCP recipe, which is 40% total quality. The rest of these are all higher quality, so over 10%. What I will do with these is we'll price these in the next section, because those actually have potential value. So guys, that is the end of section 1, in which we identified and evaluated the potential value of loot. Hopefully you guys found that interesting. On the stream here, I'm going to take a short break, and we'll come back and we'll price these items, or we'll do our best to price these items. And if those of you guys watching on YouTube, that'll be in a separate video, so you can just keep an eye out for that. Alright. Awesome.